Hi, thanks for coming. I'd like to talk to you about an apology. I made a video about neuropathy and diabetes. Well, what made me realize I'd made a mistake is that I didn't talk about retinopathy. Somebody named Robert called me about the alkaline water and being used for that. And I realized a couple of things as I talked to him. This video is a result of that. So I have to thank Robert for being an agent of God. The first thing I'd like to talk about is that now that I've got my blood sugar under control, I made the mistake of not telling people better how to get your own blood sugar under control, and particularly as it applies to retinopathy. When Robert asked me about alkaline water from my video, I'll put a link to it in the description. He was wondering if it would work for loss of eyesight, retinopathy. And after I talked to him, I went and looked up retinopathy and looked at some videos and stuff like that. And one of the things that I realized is that I must have had the start of retinopathy. Because in the video they were talking about how you would have floaters in your eyes. In other words, you'd see little things that move around. And I realized I must have had a little bit of that because now it's gone. And see, part of the problem with diabetes and neuropathy and other things is that these are diseases that take a while to show up. And the real cause is toxins in the body, environmental toxins. And one of the articles I read is about how arsenic and lead is associated with the onset of diabetes. So, and I realized that I haven't really made that clear to people. So I thought that I would do a video that talk about retinopathy, how toxins affects that, how to get rid of the toxins. Okay, and it's not just alkaline water. See, and one other thing is that I'm a man of God. And so then one of the things that I neglected to do in my other videos, so this is my little advertisement for God, is that praying to God helps. You know, there's an old saying, and I think it applies to people that have diabetes, that have retinopathy, that have neuropathy. There was a cartoon in the Second World War where two soldiers were sitting in a foxhole, as they were being bombarded by the enemy. And he says, in the foxhole, there are no atheists. And praying to God does help. I prayed, and it helped. So that's my advertisement for that. So the title of this is to cure your retinopathy in 2 weeks. Is it possible to do that? Absolutely. Now, will the damage be undone? Possible. Okay, because what it talks about is the blood vessels in the eye being weak. And there are some supplements that will help with that. It will also help with some of the issues with the toxins irritating the nerves in the eye. Okay, so I'm sorry that I neglected to make this video. And I expect to get a great deal of heat from people saying you can't cure a retinopathy in 2 weeks. Well, I hate to tell you, you can make a big difference. Let me tell you how. The most important thing is to get rid of the toxins. 3 major ways to do it. One is to help the toxins out the door. There's a number of different things you can do. There's people that talk about zeolites. There's people that talk about greens. There's people that talk about fiber. And this has to do with constipation and some of the other things. So I'll put a link into Chinese medicine where they talk about getting rid of the constipation. Because if you have everything working to get rid of toxins, but you don't get rid of them, they come right back. They get reabsorbed. Okay, so getting rid of toxins through supplements, doing exercise. Everybody talks about exercises. One of the things that people don't talk about is how exercises induces autophagy. If you go to Caveman MD, I think I'll put a link. It's going to take me a while to put that up. I wanted to put this up so people that needed to get started getting better could do that. The things I talk about are easy to do, okay? Don't require a lot of money, and you can test to see that they're working. I talk about alkaline water. The guy that asked about the alkaline water asked how I came on to this, and I said, well, I went to some meetings about Kangen water. They were trying to sell me a $4,000 machine, so they gave me a lot of information and made demonstrations to show that there is a connection between alkaline water and toxin building up in your cells. And alkaline water helps to flush the cells of toxins. Okay, and exercise, if you do it for about a half hour and get your heart rate up, yes, you can induce autophagy, and that's when the body goes looking for other material besides glucose to break down through ketosis and other means into simple sugar so the body could use it. There's something called intermittent fasting. You do intermittent fasting, Dr. Mercola, I'll find a link for him. There's Caveman MD. Okay, my intermittent fasting's a little different. I think it's more effective, but I could be biased. So those are the things. Okay, so let me go on and talk to you about supplements. Okay. Vitamin C. I don't know if oh yeah, I have a scar on my arm right here. Okay. I put aloe vera on it, and you can take aloe vera. It doesn't taste very good. But I took vitamin C, and the scar is about, in one day it's gotten half the size. I take rutin, R-U-T-I-N. Most people don't get any, but what it does is that it strengthens the small capillaries. One source of that is buckwheat. I don't know how many people eat buckwheat. Not very many, I don't believe. Sometimes they eat buckwheat pancakes. Yeah, should do that. But I take a supplement because I want to get, I'm taking it because I have a diabetic wound and I want the small capillaries to regrow faster. Okay, so, Benofetamine. It's a fat-soluble vitamin B6. You can take B6 and this will help. If you go look up the symptoms of vitamin B6, it's an identical match for the symptoms of beriberi. For neuropathy, the symptoms are the same as for beriberi, which is caused by a lack of vitamin B6. Alpha-lipoic acid, another supplement. R-alpha-lipoic acid, another supplement. That's more expensive. So if you don't have a lot of money, like it was like when I bought it to test it, it was $30. I found Swanson's has it for about 8 or 9, and I bought that to try it out, just now going through it. I go to Trader Joe's and I buy greens, and I had them in my salad, and okay, so let's see. Oh, you want to eat, so now we go on to food, and you eat food to give you both chlorophyll and fiber, which you need in higher amounts than normal people. And most people that are diabetic are overweight, and they're overweight because they don't have enough fiber in the system. So that's a quick story. I've taken about almost 14 minutes of your time, so I won't take any more. You can send me an email. I am looking, I think I would like to do some sort of written thing so people could get the word out, figure out what they can do for themselves. And so then I wouldn't have to make videos like this. Anyway, thank you very much. If you know somebody or if you want to help make a book about this, please let me know. Thank you very much for your attention.